All right. So we've talked a little bit about making inferences before, but we're kind of just reiterate some stuff today. So made a nice little anchor chart. So when we make inferences, when you make an inference, you go beyond the author's words to understand what is said in the text. So we're going to look at our context clues. We're going to look at what we know, and what we know is called our schema. So when we have a schema, it's anything that we've known previous, kind of like our background knowledge. All right, and then we're going to look at the questions that we have, and when we put all those pieces together, we can infer. So if I say, I go outside, I wake up in the morning, I go outside, and my car is wet. What can I infer?
It was raining.
It was raining. How can I get to it was raining?
Your car was wet.
My car was wet. The only other way that, other than washing my car, that my car can get wet is raining, right? So, a nice little way for us to understand and to remember when we make inferences is going to be nice little hand motions and chants, okay? So, I'm going to do it first, and I'm going to teach you guys, and then we're going to do it a couple times, okay? So, it's book clue plus brain clue equals inference. So when you do your inference, it's going to be your eye, and then your hand goes up and down, okay? So it's book clue, like our clues from our text, our context clues, plus our brain clue, so what we know, it's called our schema, equals our inference, okay? All right, so when I say it, then you're going to repeat after me, kind of like a call or response, okay? So book clue plus brain clue equals inference. All right, now I'm going to do it without the hand motions, okay? So you're going to do the hand motions. I'm not. Book clue plus brain clue equals inference. I want to hear 2 people say it at a time. We're going to do it one more time, okay? Need some really good enthusiasm, all right? Book clue plus brain clue equals inference. All right, good job. I'm going to leave this up here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little read aloud. And see, I'm going to show you and model how I make an inference from the text, okay? So this is called enemy pie. Enemy pie, what do you think the book is going to be about? Pies, okay. Making pie. Has an enemy. Enemy pie, making pies. Let's see. Enemy pie. It should have been a perfect summer. My dad helped me build a tree house in our backyard. My sister was at camp for 3 whole weeks, and I was on the best baseball team in town. It should have been a perfect summer, but it wasn't. It was all good until Jeremy Ross moved into the neighborhood right next door to my best friend Stanley. I did not like Jeremy Ross. He laughed at me when he struck me out in a baseball game. He had a party on his trampoline, and I wasn't even invited. But my best friend Stanley was. Jeremy Ross was the one and only person on my enemy list. I never even had an enemy list until he moved into the neighborhood, but as soon as he came along, I needed one. I hung it up in my treehouse where Jeremy Ross was not allowed to go. Dad understood stuff like enemies. He told me that when he was my age, he had enemies too, but he knew of a way to get rid of them. I asked him, tell me how. Tell you how? I'll show you, he said. He pulled a really old recipe book off the kitchen itself. Inside, there was a worn-out scrap of paper with faded writing. Dad held it up and squinted at it. Enemy pie, he said, satisfied. What do you think the dad is thinking when his son came and told me he has enemies?
Surprised.
You think he was surprised? Why do you think he was surprised?
Because his son never had enemies until now.
Because it was new information. So when you get new information like that, sometimes you're surprised. Okay, anything else? You may be wondering what exactly is an enemy pie. I was wondering too, but Dad said the recipe was so secret, he couldn't even tell me. I decided it must be magic. I begged him to tell me something, anything. I will tell you this, he said. Enemy pie is the fastest known way to get rid of enemies.